Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be pretending that it's 2025 still because I'm late. Surprise, surprise, I'm late to making another video in time, but I still think it's going to be a fun video to do. So today what I want to do is show you guys my top 5 figures that I've collected in 2025, and then because I suck at decision making, I gave myself 5 honorable mentions as well because I literally cannot narrow it down to just top 5. So sue me, that's what we're gonna be doing today. I do want to say that I do have figures that I ordered in 2025 that are still on the way to me. They're currently at sea shipping over to me. So I'm just not going to count those. I'm going to count this video as figures in 2025 that have arrived to me. So without further ado, let's get started. Please make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you're a figure collector, let me know what your top 5 are, or if you can't pick, do a top 10, girl. I get it, I don't care. Do what you gotta do. Or if you're not a figure collector, let me know what you think about the figures on this list. So these are in no particular order because, again, bad at decision making, can't decide. Since we do have 10 figures, I'll try not to take too long on one, but sometimes I get a little excited and carried away and I start gushing over figures, so forgive me. I do have a list here to kind of keep me on track. So the first figure is one that actually arrived right before the end of the year, so it made it just in time, and I've been obsessed with it. And it's actually not even a licensed figure, to be honest. It's a resin statue from the Bucket and Shovel website, and it is this, I think it's like closest to like a 1/6 scale. It might be listed on the actual site, but I don't remember. I think it's like a 1/6 scale-ish, very close to that. But it's the Hachi resin statue from Nana. She is just adorable. She looks so girly pop. I love her so much. My favorite thing about this figure is the outfit. It's really giving like Y2K / Harajuku fashion, you know? Do you know what I mean? Like, this outfit sold it for me. It's so girly pop and it's so Y2K and it's so fun and frilly and I love it so much. All right, so the next figure is the 1/7 scale Good Smile Company Mau Mau figure. This was my first Mau Mau scale and I absolutely fell in love with her, y'all. The paint and the sculpt are done so well. She looks so serene. She looks like you took a candid photo of her and she's just like lost in thought. I love her so much. I think my favorite part about like the entire sculpt is how candid it looks, like the concept looks, but also the flow and the folds of her like clothing and how it like flows over the bench she's sitting on. It's so beautifully done. I love it. This made me even more excited to get the other Mau Mau scale that I have coming in, which is currently out in sea, and it's the garden party version. I can't wait to get that one in. So speaking of candid photos or figures that look like you took a candid photo of them, our next figure is the 1/7 scale Chobits figure by Oriental Forest. This is also my very first Chi figure from Chobits. Unfortunately, I did miss the pre-orders for the Nendroid and another scale that was released before this one, but I did get this one. And I actually missed the pre-orders for this one too, but I got lucky and somebody was selling their order before it even arrived to them. So it arrived to their house and they shipped it right to me. I got so lucky because now it's like really hard to find, and when you do find it, the price is atrocious. Hoping for a re-release on that Nendroid though. Fingers crossed, 2026 is my year to get that figure. This one also, just like the Mau Mau one, just looks like you took a candid photo of Chi and she's up on the telephone pole. Now, I will say she is extremely tall, but I have her at the very top of my shelf. So it might be a little hard to show like a B-roll or something. I'll try my best, but she's very, very tall and I have her all the way at the top of my shelf. And she's perfect there. I think it really fits the concept too, since she is sitting so up high on a telephone pole. But this figure is so beautifully done, especially for my first Chi figure, just like my first Mau Mau figure. It's just so impressive, and there's so much movement going on in her hair, in her ribbons, and her clothing. I feel like you can actually feel the wind when you look at her blowing through her. It's so beautifully done. Everything looks so peaceful. She looks so calm, and she also looks very lost in thought. It's just a vibe, and I'm loving the pastel colors as well. Moving on to the next figure, we have the Pop Mart Skull Panda Sailor Moon collab figure. Oh my god, you guys. I still, every time I walk into this room, I still cannot stop staring at this particular figure because it's just so, it's so unique. The art style is so unique. The art style is from the Skull Panda art style from Pop Mart, obviously, but it's giving off that jelly art style, if you know what I mean. Everything is very, I want to say like glowy and shiny almost. There's like a glisten to like the lips, subtle blushes here and there, and I absolutely love that about this figure. Oh my god, it's so pretty. I know Pop Mart advertises themselves as a collector's brand, but this figure really shows that. I feel like some of their stuff like is a hit or miss. Like I can visualize it as a collector's item and some I can't. This one goes far and beyond. For a while it was a grail of mine, for a short time, because when this first came out, this was supposed to be a China exclusive figure, but I found her on AliExpress and she is real, she is authentic, but she was pretty pricey, so it did take me a while to save up for her, but I found her on AliExpress for something being a China exclusive. So I don't know how rare that really makes her, to be fair. I just realized my last two figures are also Magical Girl themed. So the next figure is actually my 1/7 scale F-Nex Cardcaptor Sakura figure. Now this one I love because just like the Nana figure feeling Y2K, this also feels very nostalgic and very retro because of the outfit she's wearing and just the colors that are used in her outfit. I love this Sakura figure so much, you guys. You have no idea. She looks so fun. And I absolutely love the closer you look at her, the more cute little details you see. Like her open bag is very cute, and then Keto just hanging on for dear life is also very adorable. And I really feel like this figure specifically feels very different to the other Sakura figures, where I feel like the other Sakura figures, you always get her in a magical girl uniform. Now, granted, they're all different magical girl uniforms, but they're magical girl uniforms or outfits. And typically they all have like this elegant base and it's just like so over the top. And this one, not that that's wrong, those are beautiful figures, don't get me wrong. They feel very expensive and they feel like they need to sit in some kind of museum and I should not be owning them. But that figure, it doesn't feel as elegant and like extravagant as the magical girl uniform ones, but it just has its own very fun, very unique touch to it. I absolutely love it. All right, so the last figure in my top 5 before we move on to the 5 honorable mentions is the Ojamajo Doremi Ichiban Kuji from Bandai. First of all, I think this figure also gained points for just being an Ojamajo Doremi figure in 2025, but also the sculpt and the painting is also executed so beautifully. I love it. The paint is smooth, the sculpt is like perfect. It literally looks just like her. The concept, it feels so dynamic. Her pose is dynamic. And then this is one of the very few figures that I own where I actually really like the base, and I don't feel like it was added there unnecessarily or was added as an afterthought. I really feel like it actually works to like emphasize her pose and that like dynamic feeling. This figure is also just super fun like the other ones, and it's so pink and it pops out so much. She's great, you guys. I have nothing more to say. She's just great. All right, now the time has come for the 5 honorable mentions. So the first one might not make sense. Like logically, I feel like for what it is, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense emotionally to me. I feel like it's the 1/7 scale Dekomori figure by Kyoto Animation. She is literally so simple. Like her pose is very simple. Her base is literally the smallest base that I own. I do love it for that, so it does get points for that. Even though it's like a plain base, I do really like it. But she's just so cute standing there. I just couldn't resist. She's so adorable. Her outfit also very much reminds me of the Hachi resin outfit. So maybe there's that, but she just looks very fun, very cute just standing there, and I just fell in love with her. Her eyes and face are also done very beautifully, so I think that's also what sold it for me. But other than that, she's literally just standing there, but I am absolutely in love with her. So she's there. She's on the list. She made it. Again, in no particular order. So the next figure is actually another Mau Mau figure, but this one is a Mau Mau Garden Party Nendroid. I really wanted to add her to my top 5 because of how beautifully done she was, but I didn't. I opted to go with the scale because I prefer scale figures over Nendroids. This Nendroid impressed me so much that I had to add it to the list somewhere, especially because nowadays Good Smile really cheaps out on their Nendroids and it pisses everyone off, but I feel like they really nailed it with this figure, and it really feels like something they made before they got so cheap and started ripping people off. Also, my favorite thing about this figure that gained points for me is the fact that you don't have to use a base to have her sit on the shelf. She literally sits there baseless. The next one, I did cheat a little bit. I did. This next one is actually a set, and it'll make sense when I mention it because I feel like alone these don't really work. But I also really love the figures a lot that I needed it on the list, and this set has been a grail of mine to complete for such a long time. So this set is actually a set I made a video on recently, and it's the K-On! 1/8 scale Animaru Stronger set, and I really feel like this group of K-On! Figures are the best ones to have, one of the best ones to have ever been released. I think they work so well together and I love it. All right, so we got 2 more. The next one I did also want to add to my top 5, but I opted out on it even though it's actually a grail figure that I got. So, and I'll explain why. It's the June Planning 1/6 scale Misa figure. I am so in love with this figure. I feel like it's one of the best Misa figures out there, aside from another one, which I'm also getting and super excited about. But the reason she didn't make it to my top 5 is just because when you glance at her, she looks perfect, she looks amazing, but when you take a closer look at her sculpt is off. Her sculpt and her painting is very messy. Her like fingers are very chunky. So there's that. So she lost points for that, but she's still very much a grail of mine because I love her so much. Her outfit though is very impressive, especially like the real tights that she's wearing, and then the necklace she's wearing is a real chain. So that kind of saved her a bit, but I did have to add my girl on this list somewhere, somehow. So she did make it, and she's still very beautiful, and I'm still very much in love with her. She has been a grail of mine for quite a while, and I'm very grateful that I got her. I actually got a lot of grails surprisingly this year, which was one of my goals. So yeah, that's great. The last figure is actually another set, I'm not gonna lie, but you're gonna understand why when I mention it, because you can't have one without the other. It doesn't work that way. So the next one is the Dokyusei Nendroid set. I mean, y'all, if you look at them, you'll know. They're just so adorable together, and they hold hands, and I love them, and they're amazing. And I also pre-ordered, I can't remember if it's a scale or large pop-up parades, but I pre-ordered those figures and I can't wait for them to come in. I can put them next to the Nendroids and they're gonna look perfect. Also, was never expecting Dokyusei figures to be released in 2025. 2024 and 2025 have been amazing years for throwback animes. I'm just saying. So yeah, those were my top 5 figures and my 5 honorable mentions. Let me know what you think. Please make sure you like and subscribe. And here's to another year of figure collecting. I will see you in the next video, which is hopefully soon. Bye-bye, guys.